learn English pronunciation with no native speaker. I am no native speaker. I'm learning pronunciation from native speaker. Also, you can learn English pronunciation only from native speaker, but it is interesting and it is good for learning, for process of learning, to listen no native speaker. Not only what you in life listen maybe more no native speaker than a native speaker, but also for your orientation, how are you improving in your pronunciation? How are you improving? You compare with, in this situation, with me. You can learn English pronunciation from me, but you can learn English pronunciation with me. Today, in this video, I want to speak about persistency. About my persistence to learn English, language, to learn English pronunciation. My persistence or my my insistent, my consistent, and how am I improving? How am I improving? And also why I did not give up. Because learning means to have a lot of obstacles in front of you. The biggest obstacles is what you don't know. Not knowing, you have not knowledge. You don't know pronounce English. You don't know understand other side, your people who speak with you. You don't understand movie, don't understand others' dialogue on what you're watching and listening, and all that are big obstacle. You cannot understand. You cannot understand. You get a bigger volume in your apparatus, bigger volume, don't understand again. Lower volume of voices, again, don't understand. It is a big obstacle during learning English language. And English language is most maybe in that category of pronouncing and understanding is maybe the most difficult language in the world for us, no native speaker, because English language there is double more voices than letters, and every word what you listening, there is a lot of voices what my language, my mother language, there is no. And it is the most difficult part of the English language. English language, to read English language is no problem, because by eyes you're reading something, look at the dictionary, and you go ahead. But pronounce, listening, native English pronouncing, it is go through our ear, and all depend about that, our ears, how they are ready, and in which conditions our ears is. What depends about age, and because of that, in some age, your improvement is slower, and in other ages you have fast improvement. I want to speak how I have been persisting, how have I been persistent all last 3.5, almost 4 years, in everyday learning, in everyday listening native speaker, pronunciation of native speaker. Many of them, but mostly my teacher AJ Hodge. Why I not give up? Why I didn't give up? When I thinking, it is because the most important reason is that I not I not force my learning, my listening, but I listen during my work, walking and listening. And during walking and listening, my brain scan inside them and go out, go back, go out, go back. I don't force my brain. You must listen. You must listen. No. I lose my brain. I give free my brain, not force, and because of that, I not invest my energy in that. By walking, my brain uh, uh, my brain free flying, and sometimes in that flying, my brain I conscious listen, and after that my brain go on other thing. After that go back and I listen again, go around, back, listen, and it not that's kind of learning. I have not lose my power. I don't need my willpower. Willpower is force. I must listen. Anchorage for listening, walking, but anchorage for listening, and it is forcing willpower. I need for that job. We need a lot of willpower, because it is connect with memorize. You must listen, you must memorize, but I not force. I don't need willpower for my walking and my listening. And what coming in my head coming, okay, what not. And same, because of that I same content, for example, 10 sentence, I understand, I look at the transcript of that and I understand what they means. That same sentence I listen 100, 500 times, 1 month, every day, 2 hours, something unbelievable. But just because of that natural process of learning in our life, from born and from like child, we have not willpower. We don't need force ourselves. Listen. What is it? Listen. It is automatically. It is automatically our brain take voices, take listen pronunciation around us, and automatically embed it, understand it, but need a lot of times. I believe that need a lot of times listen same, hear same word. And I also I learned some word lot of times, and that word after a lot of times I listen, that coming in my active vocabulary. Active vocabulary is this one what I now use in my speech. Passive vocabulary is vocabulary what I understand by eyes when I read, and that passive vocabulary is always there is more. We all have more passive words than active, and it is a process. We must listen a lot of times. It depends. There is I don't make measure. That word coming in section of active. For example, I remember words exaggerate. exaggerate. AJ Hodge explain that words, but I think that I never can pronounce that word in my active, but exaggerate. It is. It means something. Make something big. Make something bigger than it is. It is. Make something bigger than it is. Some news, some idea, thing, etc. Exaggerate, and it is. I don't know moment, but it was normal word for me. After some times, because I a lot of times hear that word, and one thing for this video is also important that I'm not give up in my learning. It is my study, my thinking, my reading, listening. AJ Hodge spoke about that, about learning, process of learning, how I brain learn how to learn. And I have a lot of experience because I learn all my life. And learning about learning, I understand. I think that people who speak about that are right. And that is process which need repetition in time. Sportmen push ball in basket, make same baseball player make same action lot of times every day, and it is also for language, for English language. English language is not like math or physics, where we learn where we must understand some process, and that learning that process and understand that process, it is something what make our brain take it for long time. But in English language there is no logic. That words, that accent, that rhythm is like that, and you have not something to understand that. You can measure when speakers have a pause. You can measure accent, and then drawing on the paper that accent, but it not help a lot of for improving. Only help time and listening, because our brain automatically learn language, and you cannot that automatic force and make faster. It is our brain don't function like that, because all what you can force in language, it it will not be acquisite for a longer time, for all of your life, but only for short time. In language, you must be very, very patient, and that patience will give us the best result.